anonymous author once said, "Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world."
We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the
Homelessness, human trafficking, animal cruelty, and violence, to name a few, are prevalent throughout the world. Let's work together and be the ones who continue to make a difference. One cause, one person, one heart at a time. I'm Dr. Milan LaBrey, and we are back with Best Foot Forward, and today's special guest is Ata Servati. He is the founder of the children's organization Lotus Light. Ata is also a Renaissance man. He has done so many amazing things. He's a poet, he's a writer, you've been in films, oh my gosh, Lions, Tigers, Bears, you've kind of covered all of it. And I see that you have met my co-host, Leah. She is, she's done for the day. She's just gonna sleep right there. And welcome to the show, Ata. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Well, the reason I wanted to have you on the show is because you have an amazing backstory that has led you to the work that you do with children. And I want to hear a little bit about that because I think it's just so inspiring. You grew up in Iran in a very political time. Can you tell me just a little bit about what happened?
Basically, when you're a writer or any kind of art, I believe it comes with responsibility. You have a gift, which not any average person has that gift. Besides, you're going to be known, famous, or be a celebrity. You have a responsibility. The responsibility is to send a message.
Yes.
The message is important. We are artists. There's many movie stars. There's many writers or many filmmakers around the world, painter, all kind of art.
Yes, of course.
But not everybody could be Oprah Winfrey, or not everybody could be George Clooney or Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie.
You have done so many things, and you started out as this amazing athlete, but you shared with me before the show that one of the things that happened was it was frowned upon with your family to be an athlete. And then you had this experience with that. Tell me a little bit about that.
See, then in the older time in Iran,
yes,
when you are from kind of elite family, or you're from the family which they have some money or whatever, they're high influence family, they belong to, or they're related to the government and all that. Being a sport hero was beneath the family tradition. So
that's so un-American.
So, I mean, right now it's so un-Iranian too. Right now everything is changed, but during time things changes. But at that time, that was the issue. So, was going to become a world champion swimmer or whatever, play soccer for and all that.
Oh, swimming and soccer.
Soccer and martial art and a couple other things.
Ata, I swear you remind me of Bo Jackson, like a master of all athletic ability. What did he do? He was like baseball and football, and I don't even, maybe he was a swimmer. I don't know what he did. But,
I mean, I was doing swimming and soccer, martial art, and
oh, wow.
I play all kind of sport. And
that didn't throw your back out this time, did it?
No, no. It just happened yesterday for no reason. Okay. For no reason. I'm sorry. I'm sitting like I can't move. I'm trying to support everything, and she's my support right now.
She's good for that.
And anyway, he was good, but he was not an artist. But I decided after that thing happened to changing things around and get back to everybody in a different way. And I wrote a play which. In reality, I become an actor, which was more embarrassment to the whole tradition of Iranian costume.
Didn't you tell me that they wanted to stop you from being an athlete? What did they do?
Somehow my hand was broken. One of my best friends broke my hand in the game.
But they did it on purpose?
They later I find out thing was done on purpose, and I don't know where the thing came from. And that was almost around 4 days before the race was supposed to start and all that. So then I got
and that was kind of a way of the times to just say, absolutely.
No, I went kind of to depression. I was very depressed, and I wrote kind of a poem, in essay poem, and somehow I got a hold of in the hand of one of my teacher, and they called me and said, you didn't write this one. I said, yes, I did. And it became a challenge if I wrote that such a thing or not.
I've had a couple of those conversations
Yeah.
with my own students, so I totally understand what happens
But
there.
anyway, they end up to invite me to do a play for the school, and that was it. And the first play I wrote when I went to the college, I wrote about my family, and it was the shadow of my family.
It was really brave of you to write a poem about your family when you already had these kind of challenges with them. I mean, someone breaking your hand so that you wouldn't dishonor the family, and then you bravely go and write about them. Wow.
I
How'd
wrote
that work out?
Actually, I wrote a play, which started my career, and I don't call it being brave. I call it not giving up, because the important thing is when something happened to us, I believe everything happened for a reason.
Absolutely.
Which sometimes we feel we are unlucky, God doesn't like us or something like that. But I don't believe that. I believe every event and incident happened to you, happened for a reason, happened for a better reason. We just have to find what that reason is.
Absolutely. How did that play launch you?
The play launched me the way suddenly become sensational, and everybody loves that. The people, all the students, they were following me, and they thought I was anti-Shah, which I wasn't anti-Shah. I didn't mean to be anti-anybody.
Right, right.
But
you were telling me that when you had that play, that there was an incident during that time where someone came at you with a knife?
Yeah, somebody thought it was insulted. I don't want to call a name. Probably some people they would not like it. So then they decided I should not have done that play, and it got out of hand. But it was resolved, and that was it. And that was the launch of my career, which then I ended up to leave the country.
So you left the country, fast forward, you come to America, you're very successful, you're doing a lot of really great things, you've got a ton of money, you know, you're living the American dream.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
The period I came to America, I got the money, I made it, and living very luxury life and parties and all that, but clean party, no drug. I mean,
Right.
Still had my foundation and all that, but I realized that is not. Somehow I was unhappy,
Right.
and I didn't know how to get out of this situation. It seems I sold my soul to money, to greed, and making more money here, buying this thing or doing this thing, but down deep I was not happy. Down deep I couldn't sleep.
You know, I think a lot of people in this world are selling their soul for money. I think that it's become such a focus that we forget, like you said, your soul wasn't fulfilled, and I think that's what happens with a lot of people.
You know, I'm not saying money is bad, but
No, it's not bad,
I'm
no.
saying money, to make money is good to make money, but money is a tool for convenience, not for happiness. And if you make the money and you know how to use it, it's important. If you make the money and what was given to you, to share it or give something away to help other people, because somehow you got a chance to make this money, you have more talent or may have more opportunity. If other people, they had that one, they could have done the same thing you do. So that's the whole thing. And I had a dream, which I document all my dream, that I'm losing everything and I'm going to be the happiest guy ever. and I was wondering
most
how.
people would wake up to that dream going, oh no!
No, I was confused. I started laughing. I
Yeah.
said, how the hell I'm going to lose everything and I'm going to be happy? And year and a half later, I was living with the homeless people. I lost everything. And in fact, as I said, that was the happiest time of my life. And that 45 days, which I was living in the street with them. And nobody knew about it. Not even my daughter. Nobody knew about it. I cut myself off of everybody for 2 years, actually, to find who I am, what I want to do. And the result was 5 novels coming out. I wrote my poetry book, and I'm a Lotus, and I create the charity.
You know, you mentioned that you lived on the streets and it was the happiest time in your life. And for most people, they would think, oh, what would be so joyful about living on the streets? And not only was it joyful for you, but you said it really was almost a struggle for you to want to leave that. I don't even know what the word is. The security, the freedom. I'm not sure. Can you tell me a little bit about that time in your life?
When I was living with those people, actually, I was more free than any other time of my life. I felt I was more free. The reason was because I had no worriness. I didn't have a problem thinking about paying this bill and pay that bills, what this guy wants, what that guy wants, and I started meeting some very interesting people. Some of these people that are so interesting, so fascinating. The 3 or 4 hours I was talking to these people, and I still wanted to talk more, to know more, and the support few of them they had for me, and they helped me and said, "Oh, we fit you, go finish your book." And I start, I type with one finger, and I can't even spell my own name. So I have a corner in the Starbucks, and 45 days I typed over 700 pages with one finger. And there was something happening there. I don't know what was it. Something happened, had changed me all around, brought me back to the path of the life I wanted to be.
I think that's really important because a lot of people, they go through these dark times in their life, and they create that as a story for themselves of, I had this happen to me, or I had that happen to me, and they don't really move beyond it. It kind of ingrains into their cellular structure as this is my story. And for you to take that story and to make flowers from the compost, as I often say, is amazing, because you're saying it transformed you, and it transformed you in a positive way. You moved forward. You realized that there was something more, and it brought you back to your purpose. So tell me a little bit more about what that ended up being for you. What is this purpose and joy?
See, the way I look at it, when things happen to us, and the worst thing would happen to us is, to anybody, is they feel they're the victim.
Yes.
Because I don't believe we are the victim. I believe we are the luckiest person if something like that happened to us. Because again, it was even the incidents we feel they're bad, why me, happened to us. It gave us a chance for us to get to know ourselves.
Yes.
And find the path we wanted to walk in. The important is not giving up. The important is make every moment of your life, no matter what you have, how much money you have, no matter what situation you have, make that one joyful.
Yes.
If you feel everything is started from back of our subconscious, the motion. If that motion is positive, that motion is good,
yes,
then you said, I want it to be here. I'm happy. You're going to be happy.
Yes.
You're going to change things around. Or you could go to the path that just say, okay, I'm the victim. And the minute you become a victim, the first one is going to lose it is you. And
yes,
nobody can do anything else for you. It's a matter of what we want it to be. We want it to be a victim, yes, or we want it to be a winner.
Everybody has a choice to make. And I understand that you had a business partner that also made a choice. Now, your choice was to be empowered and live life with authentic purpose and love. But tell me a little bit about what your business partner chose to do.
Sadly, he decided to kill himself. And I think what put him over the edge was Washington Mutual was going to sell to, I think it was supposed to, Wells Fargo, or somebody was supposed to buy him or Chase, and he says, we are going to make a lot of money, and every money we had, says, let's put it in the stock, we are going to become rich again. And finally forced me to put some money in there, and later on at 6 o'clock, Washington Mutual filed bankruptcy, and they filed, they bought the bankruptcy, everything was gone, and he couldn't handle it, and he felt more responsible that, he lost his own money, he lost my money after we were broke and all that, we made some money. And I couldn't help him, and finally they found him dead, he killed himself. That's our choice. It's very sad. That's a choice we make in life, makes the difference for us who we are going to be, what path we are going to walk. My choice was, I choose to go back to writing, which I end up with around 5 novels I'm sending out, and my poetry book, yes, and the charity, the film festival. His choice was to give up. His choice was to be depressed. See, that's a choice we make. Very important, no matter who you are, we are strong-minded people. We could change your path. We could go from down to the up within no time. Oh, yeah. But that's a choice we are going to make. That's what I'm trying to pass, that ideology, the children, to the, yes, other people, which you are the one who is writing your own
Story.
destiny.
Yeah, you're writing your own story. Your
Okay,
own,
you know,
in this journey that you had from riches to rags to moving yourself up, you said that you found your purpose. Now, you had a charity before, but it wasn't really bringing you the joy that you wanted. And now you have something that brings you an immense amount of joy, and it's the Lotus Light Foundation. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I had a foundation which I just founded myself before there was money there, but now the money is not there. Eventually it's going to come back, but I decided to create a charity, which is the Lotus Light Children Charity, which what I thought we really have responsibility, as I said, as an artist, to give something back, to be responsible. The talent we have, use that talent, use that influence to let the children know it's okay to be poor or rich, it's okay to be disabled, it's okay to be live anywhere you want, but you make the choice to be happy and you could change things around. And I realized the best way to get to these children is through art. Yes. Because children, they love to play. Children,
yes.
you can't, yeah, create. Yes. They don't like to be so serious and disciplined. But you know, it's very tough to go tell them to learn about this thing or that. But if you go through the art, hand them a book, hand them a music, a snowboard or something like that, they take it as a play. Mm-hmm. And then when they become good, they are going to do something. And through that, will bring healing for the children, no matter where in the world. And I created the children charity, Lotus Light, which we go through every country. The way the whole setup is, we find a major movie star or any star in a different mm-hmm. country. We make them a love ambassador of that country.
Oh,
and
love
we bring.
Ambassador. She has a business card that says Love Ambassador.
Oh,
Can
then
she
I
be
love
one of your,
him more.
She does. It's Love in Action, and then her
Yeah.
title says Love Ambassador. Oh, see,
okay.
she's ready to.
So the whole idea is then we get everybody has come under the Love Ambassador in that country, and they were going to be ambassador of love and peace to go all around the world. And our purpose is we're going to create 10 million Love Ambassador within the next 5 years. That's the entire thing. And what we do in this charity, we decided we wanted to create a school of TLCC, School of Art, which everybody could go to it. Through that, we are saying everything is love.
Yes.
What does that mean? No matter what religion you have, no matter what ideology you have, no matter you're white, black, green, yellow, whatever, no
yes.
matter if you are Oriental, Iranian, Middle Eastern, American, race or nationality or ideology mean nothing.
Yes, there's only one religion, the religion
we
of love.
all
yes.
are human beings. Our ideology is, my ideology is they adopt the language of love to be communicated among people. So we have to communicate to each other through love.
Yes.
I could be Muslim or Jewish or Christian. You could be something else. It has nothing to do with humanity. Because my understanding is a leader, certain people, the madman, greedy madman, they're all around the history, they are still around. They're using the religion as a tool for their own greed, gain or greed and financial, and they're misleading our youth.
Yes. You know, one of the things that I find about art and music and all these things, and as I traveled the world and I was teaching kids, I used a lot of song to teach the children. And it really unified them because it wasn't one person singing, it was everybody singing, and together everybody had a great voice. So even if you were the worst singer ever, you kind of got absorbed in the collective, and it was fabulous. And I think that's the thing about some of these programs that you're talking about, is it really brings unity. Because if you're going to do a film or if you're going to create a play, you're working with so many different people and you have to learn to get along. And I think that's the biggest thing right now with kids these days is, you know, they're on their little iPhones or their iPads or on the computer, and they're not learning these skills to really communicate and to have a heart connection. And I think through art and the things that you're doing, it develops that heart connection. You have to work with someone. You have to touch somebody. You have to, you know, you have to collaborate in some way. So I really honor, you know, your ideas about bringing love to the forefront.
Thank you. Which this kind of a thing is maybe hurting our communication.
Yes, it is.
Like I'm texting my dog, they're texting me from the other room to this room. At the same time, which is
Okay,
not good.
I've totally
at
done
the
that,
same
I'm not gonna
time,
lie.
at the same time, I believe they're helping our society, because now those people, they were controlling the mass through the media which they're controlling. Now they cannot control them, because the truth would go out through this social media. If somebody doesn't want to, we find out what's going on in North Korea. I don't know why I said North Korea, for example.
Because there's a lot going on up there. There's
No, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but it just came to my mind.
But just for example.
But what I'm saying is, now through the social media, the news goes out.
Yeah.
The truth would go out. We help the unprivileged children or all around the world in the country. We send them to school, and we found them to learn their art, music, writing, painting, sculpture, whatever the kind of. And then we create opportunity for them, and we pick up three of the first three runner-up, and then we bring them with a love ambassador, few of them, to the state over here, and we put them into a 3 weeks camp with a Hollywood star, Hollywood filmmaker, and they do the same thing on every kind of poetry, art, writing, everything, and we give them a scholarship. What I've realized, when you bring everybody from all around the world, with the Palestinian artist comes over here, young kids, and the Jewish from next door comes in, and they mingle together, they talk to each other, they take the different message back.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and then all these things, when you grow up with love and everything is love, what is going to happen? They will become our love ambassador. The kids is going to become love ambassador. Their art is going to reflect that love and peace, and we are going to change the society. Because why? Because I said our children are kind of kidnapped or brainwashed. But or we are actually brainwashed by many this media things without and the purpose of people. They wanted to do completely different situation. They wanted to, everything is greed and money, and humanity
I want
is
this,
you know.
I want that. Yeah.
My whole purpose is to bring people together, to bring love. My understanding is, if the kids, the child who hold the book. The child hold this book.
Yes.
Is not going to hold the gun. That the bill.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think we need to retrain children to, one, appreciate some things. I mean, one of the things that happens with kids nowadays is they don't hold books. They're on their iPads, like flipping through like this. And there's a tactile sensation to holding a book. You know, it's a, I don't know.
Then we
putting
put
it
them on the
shelf,
iPad.
and then and we kind of miss all of that. So principles is really important for everybody in the world, never mind, you know, the US or North Korea or any place. We need to really go back to some fundamentals. So you have, from there you also have the film festival. What's that about?
I create the film festival, Love International Film Festival, and the Lotus Light International Children Film Festival, on the purpose of creating revenue for the foundation.
Oh, okay, great.
Which Lotus Light Children Film Festival, all revenue goes to the things. Most of my revenue, I'm a Lotus revenue, 100% goes to film for the charity.
What kind of films are you looking at? For
we wanted to look at the film which shows the cultural of the culture, the custom,
like
the
Documentary
people.
type
No, all
things?
kind of a film. It could be
okay.
short
Okay.
documentary, it could be any kind of film, as long as they show love, as long as shows something good principle of humanity. We are one, helping each other, loving each other. We wanted to promote those kind of a film and show the different culture. My culture, for example, I said, well, certain things you eat in Iran over here, so oh my God, and then certain things you eat over here, pork, for example. If you go to the Iran, some people say, oh my, somebody is eating pork.
Yes.
You know, that's just culture different, and there's nothing wrong with these people. There's nothing wrong with those people up there. It's the way the culture works, which
Right. So you're really trying to highlight people's differences, but yet through this common language of love. So everything that you do is really positive, and that's really the only kind of film. And that's amazing, because if you look at the films nowadays, I mean, I tried to go to the movie theater the other day, and there was nothing. And it was a lot of violence or silliness that just didn't make any sense. And I really feel like we need to, you know, maybe not go back to Bob Hope and Fred Astaire, but, you know, maybe, you know, some of those old classics where things were just loving and friendly, and, you know, and it was beautiful, and there was music and dance and love, you know, like you felt good after. And there's so many films and things that you leave the movie theater and you just feel emotionally drained. And I think that more movies where you walk out of the theater and feel inspired are really where we need to head. So again, that's amazing that you have chosen to say no to, you know, some of the more mainstream things, and yes to really embodying, you know, your mission and saying, yeah, love it is.
I have a news for you.
Oh, you have news for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Leah's ready to listen. So.
Remember the hippies movement in the 60s? On 2006 and 2017, you're going to have a movement, they call it a spirituality.
A spirituality.
A spirituality movement.
Yes.
Because the new generation, with generally right now over kind of 55-60% of the population, that are younger generation, they don't believe religious the way they used to believe.
Exactly.
So even the churches know, the mosque know, but that's just when they're starting this war of religion, they're starting all this propaganda to distract them. Even Pope mentioned something about it. So it's going to be a movement, they call it the spirituality. People that are changing their ideology, their religion. I'm Muslim, I'm Christian, I'm this or that.
Absolutely.
They are going to be spiritual. The movement of spirituality is going to be there. Nobody can avoid it. And I believe many of these movies that we're talking about, they are going to have that kind of a color. They're going to be that kind of a color, because if the religious, no matter which one we call it, the whole purpose of religion was to send a message of love, peace, and make a bit tolerance, forgiveness, you know. And if they don't change that one, that was the foundation of the entire, every religion you call it in the world. Now, they're changed, all of them, not even one of them, all of them they're changed. They changed during the history by the people that were in power. If they don't recognize the truth of what is happening, all of them, they're going to lose their ground.
Yeah, and I think that's important. I think over time, that is the one thing that movies have done for us. They've slowly kind of introduced us to these new concepts that were maybe more taboo in the past. I mean, even, you know, the whole concept of, it was about the 1950s, and they had that radio show, or it was the 40s, I can't remember, where they were talking about aliens, and everybody got really scared. And now we have movies about aliens, and people don't think about it as much. So I think, and I do see that more. I do see a little bit more spirituality and more of these love-based, connected-based films, a lot of documentaries. I do see that. I agree with you.
You see it in science fiction movie right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, the color is there.
So can you tell me a little bit about what's going on now between the Iran and American relations?
The phase number one is, I think people, they should not listen to any government, any propaganda.
Well, it's certainly not promoting love, is it?
It's not the question is, it doesn't understand, machine gun doesn't work anymore. You could have the strongest army in the world. What happened in Iraq?
Right.
Who created ISIS? Do you know what happened? What was happening over there? The lie that the government, on that, during that time, like Iranian Revolution,
Yes.
One woman, American CIA woman, did the Iran Revolution. And Mr. George Bush paid $750 check to Khomeini in France.
You're doing a little bit of work with, or a lot of work, with helping to bridge the relations between Iran and the United States. Can you tell me what your plans are to make that happen?
I believe my plan speaks for itself. I believe if you go to Iran and do your research, 90% of Iranian people, they love America more than any other country. And the reason they are more educated on what is going on in this politics, game of politics, than American people. The sad thing is, American people, they're not well educated on what is happening around the world. They don't understand who did the Iranian Revolution. They don't understand who really created ISIS. They don't understand Bin Laden was trained in Texas, for example. Okay? They didn't understand
the
that.
irony.
Okay? Then we created something over here because at that time they are going to benefit us, and later on they become the biggest problem for us.
Right.
Right? So I think people should stay with the people. What government, when they do to each other, play game, let them play their game.
Yes. And
But
what's your role going to be?
my
in
role
kind of
is,
making that?
I believe the new deal which happened in nuclear, but that deal has to be supported. That was the best thing ever could happen, because we do not want one more war around Middle East. And the people, they don't understand it, like Donald Trump. Iran is the heart of the world. If there is a problem in Iran, there is a problem all around the world. If there is a problem, if Iran is stable, everywhere in the region they're stable. And they don't understand, you fire one gun, one bullet in Iran, there's a third world war, and nobody understands it. And all this machinery you have over here, you cannot stop it. The first person, the first country is going to lose is not just Iran, is Israel and United States. Because they cannot, you cannot bring all Europeans and tell them, hey, follow us.
So is your plan then to bring awareness to these issues
That's
and
exactly.
really educate people?
You have to resolve the matter through negotiation. You have to resolve the matter through love. If somebody, just imagine, if Palestinian people and Jewish people, they start loving each other. Let's say if they send 20 rockets from Palestine to Israel. If they don't say anything, Israelis, they come and approach them with love. People that are going to rise against those people that are doing that. Because if you really go to Palestine and go to Israel, majority of these people, they love each other. They wanted to live together.
Well,
They are just 5%, 5 simple
That's
percent,
always how
which
it
creating
is.
this problem. Anytime the peace wanted to happen, they do something.
yeah.
That is the problem. That is when people that have to start to stay together. That is what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm trying to accomplish this thing. We have to fix everything through peace.
Work on that 5%.
5% you can't do anything with them.
Oh, you're
You
gonna work
have
on,
to
okay,
educate
you're gonna
that
work on the
95%.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how I can be part of this amazing film festival and how I can help and how we can inspire other people to join in and make a difference.
That's my pleasure for you be involved, and any help would, help the cause. And it's going to be on March between 1st and 5th, and party is going to be a huge party. And we are already several big movie stars, and we're going to announce it. And we need any help we could get, and you could help. You could help
I'm
any
happy
which
to
way.
help. I'm happy to help. And
thank
we'll be
you.
at the party. Leah will be in her most fabulous
He
dress,
would be.
I swear.
He would be the star.
She would be, of course she is,
No.
of course she is, it's a given.
He's the
so.
first guest.
Thank you so much for joining me, Ata. It was really a pleasure meeting you and hearing your story, and I really look forward to spending the day with you and figuring out what it makes and what it takes to be you.
Our pleasure is mine.
I'm your host, Dr. Milan LaBrey, and you've been watching Best Foot Forward with my co-host, Love in Action, LIA, Leah for short. Stay tuned for many more amazing stories and inspiring people, and follow me on their journeys and see how you can help and be part of the global initiative for change.
Are the